Why do some men walk into a room and immediately command attention while others go completely unnoticed? Here's what might shock you. The answer has nothing to do with looks, money, or charm. And by the end of this video, you'll discover the 5 unmistakable signs that you're already a highly attractive man, plus the one mistake that's sabotaging everything. But here's the problem. Most men are looking for attraction in all the wrong places. They think it's about hitting the gym harder, buying expensive clothes, or learning pickup lines. That's exactly backwards. The truth is far more surprising, and it starts with something you're probably doing right now without realizing it. Sign number 1. You make others feel genuinely heard and valued, but this isn't what you think it is. This goes way deeper than just being a good listener. When someone speaks to you, something different happens. You're not scrolling through your phone, planning your response, or letting your mind wander. You're truly present. Here's why this matters more than you realize. In today's distracted world, genuine attention has become the rarest gift you can give someone. People notice this immediately. You ask follow-up questions that show you were actually paying attention. You remember details from previous conversations. You make people feel like they matter. But there's a dark side to this that nobody talks about, and it's connected to sign number 2, which will completely change how you see yourself. Sign number 2, you're comfortable with who you are, flaws and all. This doesn't mean you're perfect. It means something far more powerful. You've reached a place of self-acceptance that allows you to be authentic without apology. You don't put on a persona to gain approval. This shows up in ways you might not expect. You can laugh at your own mistakes without becoming defensive. You can admit when you don't know something without feeling diminished. You can be vulnerable about your struggles without drowning others in your problems. People are magnetically drawn to this authenticity because most people are performing some version of themselves. When you show up as genuinely yourself, it gives others permission to do the same. But here's what's crucial to understand about the next sign, because without it, the first 2 become completely meaningless. Sign number 3, you have a clear sense of purpose that extends beyond yourself. This isn't just about having goals, it's about having something that drives you beyond your own immediate needs. You're actively engaged in creating something meaningful, whether it's your career, a creative pursuit, or how you show up for people you care about. Men with purpose are attractive because they're not looking for someone else to complete them. They're already building something worthwhile. This makes them valuable partners and friends rather than emotional burdens seeking validation. But purpose without boundaries is just chaos. Which brings us to sign number 4, and this is where most men completely lose their way. Sign number 4, you maintain your standards without being rigid or judgmental. You know what you will and won't accept in your relationships, your work, and your life. You don't compromise your core values to avoid conflict or gain temporary approval. This shows up in how you treat yourself and others. You don't tolerate disrespect, but you also don't demand perfection. You set boundaries without being controlling. You have preferences without being impossible to please. People respect this because it shows self-worth without arrogance. It demonstrates that you value yourself enough to maintain standards while being reasonable in your expectations. But all of this crumbles without the 5th sign, which is the foundation everything else is built on. Sign number 5. You've learned to find fulfillment from within rather than constantly seeking external validation. Your self-worth isn't dependent on others telling you you're valuable, successful, or worthy of love. You've developed an internal compass that guides you toward what truly matters. You can celebrate achievements without needing constant applause. You can handle criticism without falling apart. You can be alone without feeling lonely because you've learned to enjoy your own company. This internal stability means you're not emotionally needy or constantly seeking reassurance. You can give to relationships from abundance rather than desperation. You can support others without expecting them to fix your insecurities. Now here's what ties all these signs together, and this is the part that changes everything. True attractiveness comes from becoming someone others want to be around, not because you're trying to impress them, but because your presence adds genuine value to their life. But there's one massive mistake that destroys all of this, and it's probably something you're doing right now without realizing it. The mistake is thinking attraction is something you do rather than something you become. The most attractive men aren't trying to be attractive. They're focused on becoming the kind of person they respect, living according to their values, and contributing something meaningful to the world around them. The attraction others feel is simply a natural byproduct of this internal work. If you recognize these qualities in yourself, you're likely more attractive than you realize. If you don't see them yet, they're not fixed traits you're born with. They're skills and perspectives that can be developed through conscious effort and self-reflection. Think about the men you find most compelling and respected. They embody these qualities in their own unique way. They've learned that true magnetism comes not from trying to get something from others, but from having something valuable to offer. Not from being perfect, but from being real. Your attractiveness isn't determined by your appearance, wealth, or achievements. It's determined by the depth of your character, the authenticity of your presence, and the value you bring to every interaction. The path to becoming highly attractive starts with becoming highly aware of who you are and who you want to become. It continues with the daily choice to show up as that person, even when it's difficult, even when no one is watching, even when the results aren't immediately visible. That's something worth developing, not just for attraction, but for a life worth living.